Hi, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if I'm muted.
Yes, but your voice seems so far from the camera.
Uh,
Can you can you
how
come
about how about
closer?
now?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. That's perfect.
Uh,
Would also like to request to see your beautiful face.
Actually, I secured a place, but I'm actually unsettled now. Let me find a place.
All right. Um. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so we'll be starting in 2 minutes. So just give me a minute to stream to share my screen. You can see my screen. Hello, can you see my screen? Hi, I don't know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me? I had to just change location because of the network. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello. Hear you.
Hey, ma.
Yeah, I was saying it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma.
Yes.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. So, sorry for the delay, and welcome to another exciting episode of Ten Girls Factual Space, episode 70. We've gone a long way. Yes, yeah, we've gone a long way, and mentors like you what made this dream come through. Yeah, because like today we're honored to have one of our great mentor. Yeah, she's been one of them, of the great women in STEM who has pushed these girls in pursuing their dreams in STEM. And today we're honored to have her in the house too. So I want to say a very big welcome, a warm welcome to Professor Rabia Sadia. Thank you so much for making it to be with us on this call today.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, so and thank you, ma. Thank you. Yeah, so as we proceed, we want to, um, yeah, we would like hello discussion. We would like to please mute your microphones, please. Except you are called upon to talk, then you can unmute, please. Or better still, you just drop your message on the chat, and then we'll be able to attend to your questions as we proceed with it live on YouTube as we speak. So we should be prepared to learn from you, Temilade, and what's the name?
Luana.
And Temilolua. And I think we also have another person there. Can you introduce yourself? Hello. Girls, introduce yourself.
Hi, ma. My name is Timilade. My name is Timilade. Yes.
All right. All right. Your voices, I can hear the Temi, but I do not hear the other person's voice name. But it is nice to have you to join to interview experts in the field of STEM. So we'll be proceeding. Yeah. So um women, as we know, are no less than any man in any field, over 10 fields, and serving the society for a larger cause. We at the STEM Girls Initiative aims to groom girls with the same kind of inspiration and zeal at the heart to excel in STEM fields and do their best. This talk show is a platform for the girls and young women in STEM to talk to themselves, aspiring to excel in it. We are sure that after hearing from the girls today, all the audience would be inspired to reach the stars. During this talk show, we will be conversing with a woman in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, a woman who has made a maths, her journey, and share with us her wisdom. Thank you so much for coming on the call, Miss Victoria.
Thank you very much for pleasure. So nice to be
Yes,
here.
so as we proceed, we'll just STEM Girls Initiative.
I can't hear you very well. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
my
so
network.
thank you for honoring our invitation. Yeah, STEM Girls Initiative is a program of African Girls Empowerment Network that seeks to build girls' academic performances in STEM fields and pursue their careers and dreams in STEM. Girl ought to have this digital skills, the STEM skills. Because can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello,
Yes, I can.
hello.
I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
I
Yes,
can.
Hello. Okay, right. Oh shit. Let me just switch my network. All right, so I believe you can hear me right now. So we just continue. At least network is backing up now, right? So hello, if you can hear me, just say hi, please. Oh shit. Hello, can anyone hear me, please? Hello, Miss Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I've been replying on the chat box. I can. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, all right then. All right, so we can proceed. Okay, so as I was saying, we know that the society we find ourselves, girls have facing a lot of barriers pursuing careers or their dreams in STEM fields, and this is one of the things that has led to this initiative. And out of the STEM Girls Initiative, one of our programs is the talk show, which we are hosting you here today. And then the talk show is a platform for the girls to be able to interact with STEM women like you, to learn from their journeys and then to guide them through on their career paths. So we are really honored to have you. So we're doing a brief intro about our speaker today, Miss Victoria. She's a final year medical student at the University of Uyo, recognized for her leadership and advocacy in healthcare. She has volunteered with organizations such as Hot Price NG and Meet Synapse NG, driving significant community impact in the Nigeria health, including chairperson of the COVID task committee, technical officer of on capital project and mobilization, and national PRO, and her dedication earned her award hardworking female um, RCE member, Girls Boss of the Week. Wow, this is beautiful. And Amazon of the Year. Victoria also leads the Periods Initiative, empowering secondary school students on health and career topics, showcasing in healthcare and mentoring girls in STEM and beyond. So it is so nice to learn about your field of study, ma'am. Thank you so much once again for coming on the call. Yes, so as we proceed, I'll be handing over here to Temi to ask the questions. I hope you're ready for us, ma.
I am ready. I was born ready. Thank you very much for the platform.
Hello.
Yes, I say I'm ready. Thank you.
Temi, can you? All right, thank you for your response. Ladi, can you, yeah. Ladi, can you proceed with your
Yes, we can
questions?
hear you. Put it in your ear. Don't come here.
Okay. Okay. You know that it's like your voice, so we can't hear you. Okay, ma'am.
Semilade, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Go on with the questions.
What's the what's your field of study? What got you interested in it? I hear me, ma'am.
You sound quite low. If I'm correct, you're asking my field of study. Hello?
Yes, I think that's what they're asking. So I think we'll just proceed. The network is breaking from the end, then I'll continue from here.
Okay. So thank you very much for the question. My name is Victoria
All right.
and my field of study is medicine. I'm in the medical field, and I'm a final year medical student. Thank you.
Wow, thanks so much for sharing that. All right, so can you tell us what inspired you towards this journey as a woman in STEM? There's usually a lot of biases, or so. What really inspired you to pursue these fields?
Thank you. So, I would say the tides are changing recently. Uh, Slowly we are living past the era where it was just a man's world. You can see that more
Mm,
women are actually venturing into STEM. And personally, I won't say anything particularly inspired me. I just knew that I wanted to do something that uh, would give me the platform to give back to society. I was big on that. And I remember growing up as a little child, they were like, "Oh, Victoria, you're really outspoken. Will you do law?" But somehow, I think I was better at my science courses in secondary school than the art
mm,
courses. So
wow.
I think I would say life just took me towards the path of medicine, and Yeah, I am listening.
Wow, that's amazing. Well done. Okay, so what about you like to share us, like tell us about those unique challenges like that you faced as a woman in this particularly in your fields, in the medical aspect.
Okay, personally, okay, let me not say personally, generally, like you said, you know, it seems like it's a man's world. And in fact, let me use my class as an instance. You get to see more men than women in every gathering that we find ourselves. And um, I would say the most challenging thing is that um, personal, uh, should I say, inferiority complex. We as females, right from time, we just feel like from a
Mm,
cultural perspective, we are not we're not the ones that our parents back in the day would send to school. Although, like I said earlier, the tides are actually changing. We have more working parents. We have people that are more informed, and parents are now seeing the need for their girl child to be as educated as their male child. But I still see that
mm,
space, that lacuna between the boy child and the girl child, where there's some space you see that the girls are not allowed to express themselves in their fullest potentials. So that bias is still there, and
mm,
that's why we are here to make sure wherever we find ourselves as female, we become the best that we can be, so that other younger ladies can see us as inspirations and draw strength from us basically. So yeah.
mm. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. On previous some of our previous speakers had also make mention of it. And do you know the funnest, the unique part of this discussion? Um, One of the professors, Professor Flores, once mentioned on this same platform that women are naturally um, scientists. And I asked myself, why did she have to say that? And then she went further to expatiate on it that women, based on the experience that she's had and seen around, women are most observant. Like you can observe virtually everything around you, and then you can act upon it. You can be so anxious to really know more about it. So that means that is the characteristics of a scientist, and every young girl out there has these potentials in them. So that is why we're saying, girls out there, you need to really know that STEM is for you, it's not for men alone. Yeah, so we'll proceed to the next question. We'll proceed to the next question. What about when you were a student? Let's just say, currently we know you are in your final year. You being a student, what has been those challenging times? You know, like peer pressure stuff. Has there been any peer pressure from your colleagues, your peers, your friends? Them saying, "Why are you here?" Maybe from the lecturers and all.
Okay. Thanks for
Hello.
that question. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. So
Yeah.
to be very
Okay.
honest, there's that thing called peer pressure, honestly, and I think it's one of the major reasons why I am quite passionate about going to secondary schools, because I noticed that it is actually highest in that um at that phase of our lives, because we we get our first exposure outside family. In the When we are in primary school, we don't really know what is we are not really exposed. Our minds are not all. We can't make that
Mm,
decision. But in secondary
exactly.
school, pressure
Yeah, that's right.
is pressuring. Let me put it that way. And then you see that most people want to be what they are not. You see them trying to be like their peers, and just trying to feel among, like, and definitely I think every one of us had to go through that phase. And you'll be a liar if you say, but the points
Mm.
you did not feel like being like your colleague. I remember then in secondary school, I had my colleagues wearing the super, and then they had this kind of skirt they wore, the way that peer pressure is there. But then we want to groom a generation where girls are confident in themselves. They can distinguish between morality and immorality and stand for what is good, regardless of whether hundreds of other persons are doing the wrong thing. We want to breed a a set of self-confident girls, like girls that know what they want and what they want to achieve, and are not afraid to actually pursue it and go for it. So yes, peer pressure is a thing, and I don't know if there are any um if there's anyone listening to me that is under that pressure. We all went through it, trust me. Even at the university stage in my final year, it's a whole new level. So there are levels to these things. The pressure is there at every level. But I think we first experience it in secondary school, and if at that point we get to talk to them and help them to believe in themselves and what they are, I see that they will grow up to be better ladies. They'll grow up to be self-confident ladies, and there's nothing anybody does. There's really nothing anybody can do that will make them believe less in themselves. So yes, thank you. Hello. Hello. Maybe hello.
We are not doing live. Hi,
Okay, I think the
hi.
network actually happened again. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. All right, so I think we'll just continue. We're talking about peer pressure, and I lost you at some point. So I don't know if you would love to recap.
Okay, yeah. I mentioned that peer pressure is something we all experience, and it's in different phases basically. Even at this phase of my life, there's peer pressure at my level. But I think the first time we are being exposed to the, I'll call it a vice, because peer pressure can make or mar one. And you know, it's in secondary schools. In secondary school, we want to be like our mates. We want to wear what they are wearing. We want to just compare ourselves, our parents, our lifestyles to what others are doing. And then I mentioned that it's the reason why I'm very particular about um, secondary school students, because that's where we can learn to shape them. We can learn to we can help them become self-confident. They need to be self-aware. They need to be self-confident at this stage, because it's the way they are formed at that stage that determines the kind of woman they grow up to become. If they will be um, ladies that have this inferiority complex, it begins there in the um, secondary schools, because probably in the primary schools we don't really know our left from our right. So anything our parents tells us to do, that's where we are at. But in secondary school, the puberty begins to set in, the hormonal differences and all of that. So I feel from there we should be telling them about peer pressure, and we hope to raise ladies that are self-confident. We hope to raise ladies are um that are not bothered about what others have, that will not compare themselves with what others have. So that's what I'll say about peer pressure.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. I hope you can hear me. So, there shared some challenges. Some of those you'd like to know from those experiences. I mean, those challenges you faced. Which of this challenge actually pushed you to, as in, continue or push further in becoming the medical doctor that you are today?
Okay, I will mention one very funny experience that I had in secondary school. So, most of us that studied medicine to an extent, and I say this with all humility, right? We were the stars of our secondary schools. We were probably very bright and something like that. That's why they would even encourage you in the first place to do medicine. And there was this guy, I think he was my sixth mate or something. He was like, your name is Graham. All the Grahams I know, all the Grahams I know are great people. I mean, there's Billy Graham, there's Alexander Graham, but your own is just here and you are just here warming up the chairs. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm not going to lie, it might have been a joke, but it was also a challenge for me. I picked up the challenge and I told myself that, okay, you're Graham, and it's not your fault that you are named that. I can't even go into the history of how I got the name, but then you have to stand by that name and make something out of yourself. You have to make an impact. You really have to make something that you'll be remembered for. So, and when I actually excelled in most of my courses back then in secondary school, but the truth is, I thought it would be very easy to enter the university, but it wasn't as easy as I thought, because that's the old jam thing. And I'm not ashamed at this point to tell anybody that jam jammed me, because I mean, looking after all of that, I have been able to challenge that occurrence, and I'm in my final year. By God's grace, in the before the year ends, I'll be officially a medical doctor. And sorry for my background. I'm sorry about that. So I feel like if someone says something belittling about you, maybe your peer or whatever, you shouldn't take it at face level. You should actually take it as a challenge, and you should take it upon yourself to not make them correct, like to prove them wrong. So yes, that's one of the, it seems weird, but I would say amongst other things, it's one of the things that have kept me going. The fact that there are so many persons looking up to me. There are so many people that say, "Oh, Victoria, you should not be an average person." So that is one of those are one of the things that has inspired me over the years. And I could go on and give several instances, but I mean, for want of time, I'll just tell a young girl listening to me out there that they should not let the demeaning words of other persons define them. They can actually be what they want to be, and they can change the narratives for themselves. I'm very sorry about my background.
Mm. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really inspiring, you know. Thank you so much. Yeah, so our next question is, which social problem do you think is most urgently needs to be solved when we talk about girls or women in STEM? Can you hear me right?
I can, I can.
Hello? All right.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, so the truth is, the way people tend to check and to view this
Sorry,
gender.
ma'am, your voice seems too
Can you
low.
can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
too far. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much.
So I said that the truth is people tend to view gender inequality like uh say the society, although I agree that there are some societies that still uh that are still backwards and probably do not believe in female girl education and all of those. But the truth is, people are getting woke these days, people are getting enlightened these days, and a lot of persons have seen that what a man can do, a woman can actually do much more better. But then I think the problem is about the woman's mentality. I think one of the
Mm,
social problems that we have, aside the normal ones we know, because like I said, there are still some cultural issues against the female gender, probably female gender
exactly.
mutilation, early child
Yeah.
marriages in some part of the north, and some other issues. But I think I may not be able to address those problems because we can only create the
Mm,
enlightenment, we can only educate them on the ill of doing that, but we cannot force them to actually stop. I don't know I don't know if you get where I'm coming from, because like when they say
mm,
you cannot force a horse to drink the water, but you can take them to where the water is. We can always we
mm,
can always cry about how dangerous female genital mutilation is, and early child marriage does not really stop them from doing it, except probably the government are now involved and there's a law that stops it. But
mm.
I think I want to
That's
address
that's that.
what can be corrected. I think we as ladies, we have to view ourselves as a special breed. I think we have to view
Mm,
ourselves as I think it starts from our minds. If you check most of
mm,
my probably my social media handles, I am big on the mental health, and I feel like if we are confident in ourselves as ladies, there's a sort of
mm,
value we give to ourselves that the society would learn to follow.
mm.
Like you look
Wow.
at girls, for instance, that uh you say this girl is promiscuous. I feel like it's because she does not have value for herself, because it's how she
Mm.
carries herself, is how she portrays herself out there that determines how people would see her.
How
If
people
you've
would see
shown
her.
yourself
Yeah,
to
that's true.
be if you show yourself to be someone that is undervalued, that's how people will
Mm,
perceive you. So I think I want to talk to the girls that are listening to me now. There's nobody that is telling you that you are below average. It's just how you put yourself out there. I don't think where we are, like I mentioned, in every set now for the medical school, you see the number of female students, female medical students are rising year by year. And then you see that the
Mm,
females are actually, in a certain sort of way, doing better than the men in that field. And there are female becoming best graduating students. Nobody is depriving any female of their fundamental rights as
mm,
it used to be. I won't say it's not happening at all, because that would be that would be me shooting myself in the leg. But the truth is,
exactly.
it's not a huge problem per se. But I feel like we as females, we've not been able to project ourselves in the way that we should, so that the society will view us in that manner. You can imagine there
Mm,
was this conference I went for, and they mentioned was I mean it was NIMSA, Nigerian Medical Student Association, the national body for medical students in Nigeria. And there was one of the social events we had, and people were like, please, where are the adipose tissues? Adipose tissues are like fat tissues in the body, and we know that
mm,
females, we have more, they have females have more fat tissues. So, they're probably referring to the buttocks and the breast and all of that. And they're like, I hope we have
wow.
adipose tissues there. Hope there will be so many adipose tissue in
Oh my God.
this social. And it was so demeaning. The girls amongst us cried, and not cried, but we made a
Mm,
very big fuss about it. And and
mm, I
the,
see.
the men that were involved in making that very demeaning statement had to apologize, because you don't have to see us that way. We are not some sort of things for you to just come and dance or rock in a social event.
Exactly.
Have more value than that. And then that joke never repeated itself again. I'm sure the guy
Mm,
who said it would have wished would have wished the ground swallowed him up, because they
swallowed
really
him up.
they really made him look foolish, and they really made him feel like it
Wow.
was not worth being a medical student and all.
Mm,
So I feel like we ladies, we should put values on ourselves. Dear girl, put a value on yourself, please. Portray yourself the way you want people to address you. If you want them to address you, dress properly. And you, because it's how you dress, that it's the way you dress that you'll be addressed. Let's just leave it.
exactly.
And it's the way you
Mm,
put yourself out there that will perceive you. So I want
exactly.
us to work on ourselves, a lot of self-development programs, learn how to speak well, learn how to talk well, learn how to dress well, carry yourself as the royalty that you are. So I feel like one of the main social emergencies that we have as ladies is putting putting value on yourself, putting value on yourself much more than the
Mm,
other crises that we have. I feel like if we put much more values on ourselves, the society will perceive us as, will also put that value on us, and most of our worries will be gone. Yes, thank you.
mm. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's so beautiful. Thank you. All right. So, to our next question, what do you do to constantly challenge your underlying beliefs and assumptions, or things that have stood out as setbacks towards your career path and ambition?
Okay, that's a very very good question, I would say, because as much as you there are always setbacks. Personally, for me, I would say it was the finance aspect. I remember when I
Mm,
got my admission into school to study medicine, it 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 was not business as usual, because it was a very downtime for my family. And my
mm.
father was just, oh Vicky, I didn't tell you I was doing microbiology previously, and
Wow.
I
Really?
knew personally, yes, I knew, although I did just 1 year there, I knew that I was not where
Mm,
I was supposed to be. And this, with all due respect to the microbiologists out there, you're doing amazingly well. And it's not to bring the profession down in any way, but I'm just saying that personally, I knew that I was not where I was supposed to be. And I didn't feel fulfilled. I knew that I was not in the right place. So, regardless of the fact that my parents had told me to just stick to microbiology, and they were just trying to hype me up and tell me how microbiologists are doing pretty well, giving me examples of
Mm.
some
I
of the
can imagine
innovations.
that.
And all of that is because they knew the financial implication of training a child
Mm.
through medical school. I I I I remember I was working somewhere because that was in between the time I got my admission to even do microbiology, and I saved up money for like 3 months to buy my jam
Mm.
form. And my sister told me that if I scored a certain if I had a certain score in my jam score, she was going to buy my post UTME form. At the time, we're still doing post UTME, so I, I did not meet up actually. I didn't score that. I didn't score up to what she wanted, but regardless, she still footed that bill for me because my parents were not even interested. They felt like I was being overly ambitious, and I would
Mm.
say even within my family, I've come to inspire my family members, my immediate family members, my parents, my siblings, because the kind of the kind of determination that I had, I was so sure that I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I was so sure that I was going to have medicine. And I was so sure that I would go through medical school, whether my parents had the ability to train me through school or not.
Or
So
not.
I know that there
Mm.
are so
I love
many
that
people.
belief.
Yeah, I know there are so many people out there that are like, oh, my parents, oh, the socioeconomical background, my economical status is down there. I can't compete with the world. We don't have enough. We don't have a name. Whatever it is, whatever it is you think your challenge is, dear girl, can you just make a step? Just
Mm.
move,
That's it.
just take that step. It's going to be challenging. You feel like you're crazy at time, but please admit that feeling of craziness. Take that bold step. Mine was buying the jam form in the first place. I didn't meet up to the standard that was expected of me, but I still wrote the post UTME. And the most amazing thing that happened was that post UTME I wrote was cancelled, and they told us to write another post UTME. Like I wrote post UTME twice, and at the second time, my score was so high. It was so high that I was number one on the list, on the admission list. And
Mm.
when I got the call that I had a high score, money came out.
Can imagine. Please, sorry to cut in. The voice seemed low again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I was saying that they were complaining about the money and all, but when they saw the
Mm.
high score, the money came out. God made God made a very supernatural provision because someone saw that I had that score, and they were like, no, this score cannot go to waste. So they wrote me a check
Mm.
at the time and told me, okay, do this and just take this and go to school. And that was how I found myself in my first year. And trust me, when you do your first year without knowing where the money for second year to your sixth year will come, you would see yourself in your sixth year regardless. You don't need to know where the money is coming from. You just need to take it always a step at a time. I remember there's been a semester
Mm.
that it was so difficult. I think the portal was few days from closing, and somehow I was able to pay my fees before the deadline. So it's not going to be all that rosy, but trust me, if you're determined, you see all these aspire to acquire things, it's not all false. There are some aspire to acquire that are actually for real though, like some motivational talks that are actually real life experiences like mine. So I would say mine was the whole financial burden, and fast forward till today, I'm so happy and I'm very grateful to God. I'm very grateful to God, and I hope that someone can hear me and not look at their bank account or their parents' bank account and still push for that their dream. Somehow a way would come out. there will be a way somehow supernaturally. There will definitely be a way. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful story. It is indeed touching. Yeah. So I hope our girls are also learning, and those that are watching via the YouTube, please endeavor to listen and pick something from it. She has just said a lot of setbacks are there. There will be obstacles. There will be there. But then do not let the challenge stop you from your dreams or from what you're aspiring for. Thank you so much. So we'll proceed to the next question, ma'am. So since you are in this medical um, department, um, we would like to know, like, individually with your field, what have you what at okay, let's say, what have you done to help some of these crises, like in times of crisis, you know, like 2019 we had COVID, been able to contribute individually to, like, bringing a solution to the crises, either in weather, disaster, pandemics around the world, like maybe specifically from Nigeria.
Okay, thank you for that question. The truth is,
Yeah.
I personally believe that we all have a part to play in making the world a better place. We all have our roles. Like you mentioned, the pandemic. I believe we were talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
Please,
So
your voice is still low.
sorry, I think this earpiece.
All right.
Can you hear me now? Okay, so I said
Yeah,
that.
we can hear.
Okay, I said personally, we all have a role to play. I believe we all have a role to play, and we, uh, for instance, during the COVID period, there was a lot of persons that, forgive my background noise. Forgive my background noise. Okay, so I was saying that I'm still in the school environment, so some of my colleagues are. So I was
It's
saying
okay.
the COVID, for instance, there were instructions like wash your hand and social distancing, this one, that one. I personally believe that it's really in the very little things. You don't have to do much. If you can wash your hand and stay safe, like now we hear there's a cholera outbreak, and cholera is actually fecal-oral, and the littlest thing like washing your hand regularly and trying to treat your water, you are preserving yourself and you are also looking out for your neighbor in the process. So it's actually in those very little things. But personally, like my bio said, I've been able to conduct health campaigns, street campaigns, gone to the orphanage homes just to give some of these health talks. And for the female, we notice that some of these menstrual hygiene days, you think these ladies or these young girls know what to do. They know the number of hours they're supposed to use their pads, or they know all um these little menstrual hygiene tips. But it will shock you when you actually go for these programs, that there are ladies that are unaware about the little safety tips. I remember when I went to, was it Okobo, in around Oron local government area of Akwa Ibom State, and we were talking to the young girls about their menstrual hygiene. It was so amazing to see a lot of them hear about some of those things for the first time, how their body works, to understand how their body works. And information is power. What you know would help you to plan yourself, would help you to take better care of yourself. And you see, like imagine during the COVID-19, a lot of persons did not know what to do, how to prevent it. And we had so many people die before the discovery of hand washing, social distancing was made. So I feel like we all have our roles to play. The little things like taking good personal hygiene, the little things like going out there and giving a health talk, giving an health education about some disease condition can go a long way in preventing unnecessary disease outbreaks and epidemic, pandemic, whatever it is. So yes, we all have our roles to play. And even when you hear some of these admonitions, some of this health advice, I admonish us to keep to it and help make the world a safer and better place. Am I being heard? Hello.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sorry I got disconnected again.
So
All
sorry
right,
about that.
so
The network is terrible.
yeah, it's actually raining, so it's kind of making the weather unstable with the network. So,
Okay, so am I
all right,
supposed to? Okay,
yeah. So we'll just continue with the next question. So our next question is, how can we encourage girls um, to improve their participation in STEM?
okay. We can encourage them by, I think, everything I've been saying from the very beginning points to uh encouraging the girls that they can actually do whatever it is they want to do. So sorry.
I don't know if you got my question. Did you? Or should I recap? Okay, so I'll just ask the question again. Our question is, how do you encourage more girls to join STEM?
Okay.
Hello,
Yes, I'm sorry. So yes, I said everything.
hello, are you?
I'm here. Hello.
Hello, I'm with you.
Okay, so I was saying that everything that I've been saying from the get-go has actually pointed towards encouraging the young girls. The fact that we are now aware that what a man can do, a woman can actually do better. And I believe this is the 70th episode, right, of STEM, of this program, of this talk show. So I can imagine
Yes,
that
yes.
69 other amazing ladies, amazing women that have been outstanding, that have done beautifully well in the STEM field, have been on this network to talk and engage with the young aspiring girls. So we are all a testament to the fact that whatever it is as a young lady that you set your mind to, you can definitely achieve. We are all in the STEM field. Personally, I'm in the medical field, and we've been doing beautifully well in the past years. So we don't have two heads. We are not superhumans. We are just flesh and blood like every one of you out there. So all I would say is if you've determined in your mind that you want to do it, just take that first bold step and hold hold God tightly because he's definitely a very huge factor in all of this. Hold him tightly and pursue your dreams basically. We in fact I won't say they are lacking, we lack mentors. We have so many amazing women out there doing amazing things in their different sectors. So you could just look at one person that you can learn from. I have people that I look up to. I have people that I look up to that are not close around, the likes of Dr. Konjo Iweala, the likes of late Dr. Dora Akinyulu. There are some of those very phenomenal women that personally I hear their stories and I'm like, oh, these women have broken all the they have broken the glass ceiling. They've they've made their impact and they've shown us that no, women, we can be anything we want to be. And I'm following that footstep and I believe you can also follow in that footstep. Just take that bold step and in no time you'll be where you actually want to be and where you're meant to be. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Trust you can hear me, right? All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. So our next question is, what advice would you love to give to girls who are aspiring or wishing to study um, STEM subjects, wants to become a medical doctor like you out there?
Okay, I will say know your onions. Like medicine is not for the weak. When you ask that question, I remember a lot of people say you are wicked if you tell people to come and study medicine because of the shege we have seen. So medicine is actually not for the weak. Trust me, it's very tedious. And I'm not saying this to discourage anybody. It's very tedious. It's for those that are really determined. Medicine is going to test your mental health, it will test your emotional abilities, it will test your psychology, it will test everything that you have. It's rigorous. But then we still graduate um hundreds of thousands of doctors in this country every year. So despite the difficulties that we experience, we feel it is worth it. I'll go through school. I would um burn midnight candles. Sometimes you have very few hours of sleep. So you still come for ward rounds, you come to clinic, you stand for hours, you get to collect the patient. Sometimes you have classes from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you're expected to stay back and collect patients because you have to present to your consultant the next day. It's rigorous, it's stressful mentally, psychologically, physically, even spiritually. And but then trust me, is what at the end of the day you get to make the impact that you want to make. You you when you go through that rigorous process, when you become a medical doctor and they put the DR in your name, you know you've worked these years for it, and you actually never be the same in society because there's this prestige that comes with the course. And I'll just say know your onions, be determined, be focused. It's not a space for distracted people. It's not a place for people that do not know what they want to become. We have a lot of persons start the course and fail out in between. We have a lot of persons that that just got tired. They didn't fail out, but they said, no, this place is not for me. It's too much. And they've left. And
Mm,
we are still here. We are the ones that are still here. And like I said, in a few months, the entire hustle and struggle of years to years would be
be over.
complemented. Like would
Mm,
finally we'll wear that crown of becoming a medical doctor. And trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it.
mm.
It's worth it. So yeah.
Thank you very much for that beautiful advice to our girls. But I would love to ask, what's meaning of onions? Know your onions, because I'm interested in knowing more about it.
Hey God, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like know your onions. Like
Okay,
when I'm talking about self development, know what you have. When I say know
okay.
your onions, it means know your stuff. Like you cannot be a medical student and you don't know medical stuff. You don't know how to diagnose, how to prescribe, how to. You have to be academically sound. You have to be sound. That's what I mean by
Mm,
know your onions. Make sure you are
wow.
sound and you can stand um, before your peers, you can stand before the society, and you are sure that no, this person is actually a medical doctor, and lives are involved in medicine. So we are sure that
Exactly.
we can actually hand our lives over to this person, and it is preserved. And this person is definitely not going to give us a wrong drug prescription or a wrong diagnosis that will put me at arm's way. So that's know your onions. Be sound. Be be proficient in what you're doing. So that's
Mm. Thank you for expatiating on that. That means know your onions is for you to be determined. It's not just about the determination, but there's hard work to it. So you need to work hard to get to wherever you want to get to. So there is nowhere you want to be to become. No, there's nothing on earth you want to become as a girl in STEM that you cannot. But the fact still remains that you have to know what you want for yourself, because once you're determined, you'll be able to know how to strive and then pursue those things that you want, no matter how the obstacles will come, no matter what challenging things will come in, maybe from the family, from peers, and everything, you can overcome them in just one word, knowing what you want for yourself and pushing forward for it. So this also means that you need to put in more of your efforts. You don't sleep and wake up as a girl and say, I want to become a medical doctor, but then I'm sleeping all night. Yes, you don't say, I want to become an engineer and then I'm sleeping all night. So that means you need to burn your candles, just like she has mentioned. You burn candles to become who you want to be. So we thank you so much, Miss Victoria, for sharing this beautiful journey with us as undergirls, and I believe we've learned so much. I don't know. Tell me, do you ladies have anything you want to ask before we wrap up? Okay, I take the silence for a no. That means everything you've shared here is something you've taken note of, and of course, I'm going to walk through that's part of success. So lastly, I wanted to share with us, with the girls, if there are scholarship opportunities out there. I mean, what kind of job opportunities are there for girls who are in that field? And then what are those scholarships that they can actually have? Can you refer or share some that these girls can have?
Okay. Yes, there are actually several opportunities out there, especially as a medical student. I know so many of my colleagues that were on several scholarships. Unfortunately, I don't think, I think I've only benefited from one or two
Mm,
scholarships. But then there are so many out there. I actually, you sent me some FAQs, so I had to surf the internet to check out for opportunities that could benefit listeners. And I know of Opportunity Desk. Opportunity Desk is a very good platform, sorry, where you can get um, scholarship opportunities, uh, all expense paid events, free conferences, and all of that. So if you just check Opportunity Desk, you would see for master programs, for undergraduate programs, for scholarships, for conferences, all expense paid conferences, and some other benefit fellowships and stuff. You see a whole lot on that website. So definitely that's one place I would tell them to surf and get opportunities that best suits what they are doing. Yeah.
mm. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I don't know, before we call it up, Dr. Professor Rabia, do you have anything to say to our girls before we end the call? Hello, ma'am. Are you with us?
Yeah, it's
Hello, Professor Rabia. Oh, I
Okay, I
guess
mentioned I see a message. She mentioned that where she is raining and the network
oh,
is very terrible. I think she mentioned that on the chat. Yes.
okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much for disclosing that. All right, so as we come to conclusion, we would love to say a very big thank you to our amazing partners who had made it possible for STEM Girls virtual space to keep running and the STEM Girls program at large. Want to say a very big thank you to our amazing partners, NGCSW, African Women Development Fund, Matrix Chambers, and Cobbs International Trade Limited, and Benefiti Cassis Portal. So we say thank you so much for standing by us and making this program a success for girls to walk through their paths, their career paths in STEM, for them to be able to connect with young women that are excelling in this field to learn from their journeys and stories, and then also have mentors that can walk them through this path. So want to say very big thank you to you. So for girls, we just want to share a brief about organization. Um, Age Network focuses focus areas we can see on the screen on girls education, which is on the platform we're discussing today under the STEM Girls Initiative. We have governance and leadership through Affect for Women. A lot of things are going on, and they need to lead. Girls really need to lead. So we're talking to our girls out there to take the lead. And then STEM is one of the places you need to leverage on to take on those leadership positions that you are, because generally the world is going to the globe as it's evolving, and then it needs those skills, those STEM skills, those critical thinking abilities for you to be able to attend to those things that will lead you to, especially in your career path, that will help you secure good jobs. See, there are a lot of beautiful jobs in STEM. So I would also want to join our speaker today to say, please go for STEM. Yes, we're enjoying it. But then, there's always hard work for it. Yeah, so we've come to a conclusion of the talk show. We just want you to bear in mind that the STEM Girls Talk Show mission is to encourage and promote your participation as a young girl in STEM, and then to also hear your story. We are interested in hearing your stories as a woman in STEM. You want to mentor a girl, you want to speak to a girl, you want to connect, you can just contact us to inspire those girls out there that are looking forward to you. They want to be like you. So they need you to share your stories and your journey to encourage them, and then give answers to those questions that they have in mind for them to be able to strive and achieve their goals and pursue their career paths. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Miss Victoria, for honoring our invitation. Once again, we say a very big thank you, and keep up the good work you're doing in the community too. Thank you.
Sorry, please. There's actually something I would not forgive myself if I don't say before
Okay.
the program wraps up. Okay. So I just saw one of your areas of concentration. Sorry.
All
I just
right.
saw one of your area of concern. One of your focus areas, and you spoke about governance and leadership, like girls taking um those positions. And I think I made an error also by not
Okay.
mentioning that, because we noticed that that's one of the emergencies that I did not
Mm,
address. When you say what are the social um problems that you see with we yes we put governance and leadership there. I feel like ladies have not been given the platform that they deserve to show leadership. They feel like leadership in our climb, in our society, people feel like leadership is just a place for the men, and wrongfully
mm,
so. We have our leadership style as ladies. I remember last year I was privileged to be admitted into a short course program for women in leadership, and I actually they were putting into writing what I have experienced. And it was so enlightening to know that, oh, this is actually what you've been experiencing, but this is a clear pattern for ladies. We are leaders,
mm,
we are born leaders as ladies, but society would not give us that platform. I remember
mm,
last year when I ran for the national president for the Nigerian Medical Student Association, most
mm,
persons, most persons knew that I had the capacity, they knew I had the experience, they knew I had the the enthusiasm, I had that passion to lead the association, but they were skeptical just because I was a lady. That
Mm.
was the only criteria that I did not tick. They wanted a man to lead the association. How will you lead an association of
Imagine.
over 75,000 members as a woman? Do you mean that the men will answer to you? And it was it was the first time I actually saw gender bias firsthand. And before now, I will always say, okay, ladies, we've been given the platform and all of that. But then I saw gender discrimination firsthand. And it, funny enough, the election was up north in Kano, and it was so disheartening and saddening to see that even in the medical field, we have not gone past that that mediocre mentality of thinking that a
Mm.
woman cannot take an apex
Be
position.
leading. Mm.
Even in Uyo year, for the very first time, it was just last year that we had our first female president, first female chairman for the Nigerian Medical Association. And if you look at the statistics in terms of governance and leadership, women are down there below. We've been given platforms, to become professionals. Like I said, over the years, there are more medical students that are being admitted, and same goes in other fields, even in the engineering space. My brother is an, an engineer in view also, and he has so many ladies in his class. But in terms of leadership, we don't tend to, we've not been given that platform, we've not been given that voice we've not been given that avenue to show that we can also be better leaders because of how society feels like the man should be the apex figure, and the whole respecting they don't they cannot fathom how they can answer to a woman. So I feel like that's one of the menace that is eating up our society, and I feel like we should actually live at this point in this 21st century. We should live past that mediocre mentality. So yes, dear girl child, please aspire to be the best, aspire to be number one, aspire to prove them wrong. You may lose some chances because not everyone is as enlightened as you are. But I lost that chance last year. But trust me, when I have the platform to go again in other sectors, I will definitely not let that determine my aspiration. I will definitely go for it until I'm able to have
You
that
get that.
platform to give them what I know I have, what I have I possess. So yes, I think we should do more girls in leadership position.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Um, we are so excited to have you join and share this beautiful journey of yours and advices. I believe this is really inspiring. Your story is really inspiring. And of course, I know a lot of these girls have learned, and those that are also going to view on YouTube would also be learning a lot from your story you've shared so far. Thank you so much for coming on the call. And I remain your humble host, Martina Avery. And then till we meet again next week, Friday. Yeah, bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Prof, for staying to the end, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. I appreciate your presence.
Bye bye. Well done. It's a very
All right.
good one. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. Yeah, bye, everyone.